Hello, everybody, and welcome to ASMR Reality. Tonight, we are going to be discussing conspiracies. And I'm taking these conspiracies, I'm just going down the Reddit list because there's this Reddit page on conspiracies. So that's what we're going to take a look at. Here we go. Okay, this is starting it out here, and it says someone called it on this sub years ago, warning about I'm not going to say the word, and disease X for intentional outbreaks. Pay attention to some of those posts that get no attention. Scientists make huge breakthrough in search for disease which could wipe out humanity. Experts are trying to get ahead of disease X, an unknown pathogen that could trigger a global pandemic before it wipes out swaths of humanity. The Predict Project has been looking through the animal kingdom to discover viruses which could one day mutate and evolve to kill all of humanity. Now, a group of scientists from the Smithsonian Institute in the United States and University of California have discovered two new viruses in Myanmar's bats. The viruses which were discovered belong to the CV family, which have already caused 2 outbreaks. Yeah, not sure what that is. Both the sides are not the same. Breaking: House Republicans have introduced legislation to defund the World Economic Forum. The Defund Davos Act would specifically block any federal agency from providing funding to the WEF. I can agree with that. USA Today stating that we did not see the mattresses and booster seats in the New York City tunnels found under the synagogue. So if you didn't see this news story, supposedly the pro-Palestinian group of people were digging a tunnel underneath this Jewish synagogue in New York. It's a weird story, I'm gonna skip that. Presidents are not above the law, nor should they be. This is from Donald Trump stating that a president of the United States must have full immunity. All presidents must have complete and total presidential immunity. Yeah, so basically they should not be able to be charged for things that they did when they were president. Like he mentions Obama doing some drone strikes where he accidentally killed American citizens with the drone strike. Technically, if we were allowed to prosecute them afterwards, Obama could be prosecuted. That's kind of what he's saying. If it's, how come he can be prosecuted and other people can't? So, Ghislaine Maxwell has converted to Judaism and is being assisted through prison outreach by the same sect that built the Brooklyn tunnels. Spot on for being written almost 2,000 years ago. This is a Bible verse, 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, with natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. It's V regret now. I don't want to say the word. You got the CV, V. These are just articles about that. Video of the moment the walls are ripped open and mattresses are pulled out. This again has to do with that tunnel they dug under that synagogue. Entire town's newspapers stolen on day it runs story about girl raped at police chief's home. Oh, this is going to be a video. I better turn my volume off. I don't want anything coming up and being loud. Yeah, this is kind of seems like a story. Your favorite president is also corrupt. Sorry. Let's see what they're talking about. Okay, I get the feeling this will get downvote, but I don't care. Your president that'll save this country most likely doesn't give a rat's about you or your struggle. This country have been split into two halves. Our differences are being amplified to divide us into our echo chambers, thinking the other team has the whole story wrong, that their president has duped them into thinking he's the good guy. Think about it for a second. Half the country thinks the other half is supporting a president who will take away our democracy. Is that not fishy to you guys? If someone supports the other guy, then he's automatically a where was that? Sorry. Then he's automatically a stupid person in your eyes and doesn't deserve the time of day to converse with, find middle ground. If we weren't so divided, then the puppet masters who truly run things, not any presidents, that's for sure, are screwed. I guess the point of this post is no matter who you support, understand the other side has valid points and reasons to think the way that they do. The Romans used bread and circuses to distract their people from the truth. Our bread and circuses consist of media who are owned by the same people talking about one side's wrongdoings while ignoring the other. We have also been bought and silenced by gizmos and toys. Everyone's too busy scrolling social media on their $1,000 phones, getting angry at the other side's incompetence. Divide and conquer has been used for centuries on humanity, and I feel like people know this deep down, but the state of the media has them so convinced the other team is a threat to our way of life. We rarely find middle ground anymore. Completely agree with this. Oh shoot, I clicked off that page. Here we go. Okay, scroll back down here. Yeah, so I do agree, and that's why I'm voting for RFK Jr. I just feel like he's our only hope for uniting this country. It's just been a mess. Okay. You are the news now. In a stunning admission, Wall Street editor-in-chief Emma Tucker says they are now the legacy media and no longer the gatekeepers of the news. I think there's a very specific challenge for the legacy brands like the New York Times and like the Wall Street Journal. If you go back really not that long ago, as I say, we own the news. We were the gatekeepers, and we very much owned the facts as well. If it said it in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, then that was a fact. Nowadays, people can go to all sorts of different sources for the news, and they're much more questioning about what they're saying. Very true. World champion athlete from Canada dies suddenly at age 29. Sean Barber, the Canadian pole vault record holder, has died from medical complications. More than incredible. I don't know why this is a conspiracy. It doesn't say what he died of, so I don't know why that's a conspiracy. You will never convince me this guy is a human. If you're just listening and not watching, it's showing a picture of Mark Zuckerberg. An image of a 1979 advertisement for Pakistan International Airlines. Oh wow, that's weird. Wow. That's a weird advertisement. Super Bowl is fixed. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not a Reba McEntire, Usher, and Post Malone are slated to perform at San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens. I don't know why they're saying it's fixed, like what proof they're offering up, but anyway, yeah, I am just not a sports guy. I just don't like the ups and downs, and you can't control it, and I just don't partake in them because it's just to me it's not productive. Idea of murdered Israeli hostages with poison gas. It's a sad situation going on over there. Rand Paul says Anthony Fauci must spend his life behind bars to restore trust in government. I agree with this. That guy he locked us down, closed schools, and made us wear masks, and none of it worked. He made so many mistakes. He has no business. I just hate it. Anyway, I won't die for pedophile elites, will you? It's gone from there won't be a war with Russia to there isn't going to be a draft to there may be a draft in the next 20 years. Soon it will be getting the van private. I don't care. I'm not going. I'd rather die at home than in some foreign shithole for the interest of pedophiles and Satanists. Interesting. People just don't care. I mean, that's what's happening. We're just getting to the point that people don't have national pride anymore. People they're losing faith and hope in their countries, including America. The Rockefeller document talks about a SARS-19 virus that would spread throughout the world in 2019, a decade ago. It went on to talk about SARS-2.4 and SARS-2.5, which would each be dozens of times more deadly than the last. Disease X is already synthesized somewhere waiting to be spread. World leaders gathered at the World Economic Forum on Wednesday to discuss DZX, a hypothetical virus 20 times deadlier than CV. Here's what you need to know. Yeah, I think there probably is something coming, sadly. It's kind of crazy how we're taught humans spent millennia with no electricity, no power tools, no nothing basically, and most of our modern inventions only came about in the past 200 to 100 years. I just talked about that when I was talking about UFOs. That's interesting. It's here. Like, objectively speaking, even if you don't believe there was an ancient civilization that was far more advanced, like Tartaria, destroyed in a flood, and we're living on the ruins of that, isn't it wild how most of humanity lived in the dark for thousands of years, and only in the past 2 centuries did most modern inventions come about, and only in the past 50 years did we really get mass communications on a global scale. I'm surprised more scholars, historians, archaeologists, and anthropologists don't question most of human history instead of barely scratching the surface. Only last year did they discover the complexities of Roman concrete. It seems like every year or so there's some big discovery that they claim rewrites history, and you're reminded how little of ancient history is actually known. I don't know if there was a great catastrophe of some sort or several, but it seems like there's been a deliberate effort to keep things hidden and keep the next generation in the dark about the previous history, so they're easier to buy into certain narratives while other things are cherry-picked to seed future agendas. On this one, I don't doubt that historical societies had some technologies that we don't even have today, like the Egyptians, for example, how those pyramids were cut. But I really believe that the freedom that the Constitution provided mankind was what set forth the revolution of invention and technology, because men were free to tinker and build and get patents and protect and make money and not have their ideas stolen or live under tyranny. And I think that as we get more and more less free, we are going to endanger that sense of freedom that I think helped develop all the technologies that we have. Don't know what this is. It blows my mind to think about the fact that of the 300,000 years humans have been on Earth, we've only got recorded history for about 5,000 of those years. And even much of that isn't very good, as you highlighted. These are comments. I don't know how I can These are all comments from that story. I don't know. Oh, here we go. I just go back, I guess, maybe. Yeah, just go back. Those thoughts, prophecies mirroring the times we live in. More Egyptian stuff here. Central bank digital currency. Trump says no. Donald Trump claims he will never allow creation of a CBDC in the U.S. if re-elected. That's one good thing he's saying, because with a CBDC, they can just shut you off and you couldn't buy groceries or anything. I mean, it could be dangerous if they had absolute control over our money. Machines could last hundreds of years, but the system doesn't allow it. Yeah, I've heard of this. It's called planned obsolescence. It's like they have to make things to break. That way we have to keep buying things. Anyone else feeling antisocial these days? I used to be really outgoing, went to football games, basketball games, concerts. I was always hanging out with or talking to someone. I got along with everyone, or tried to. Fast forward to today. I never really want to leave my house. I never want to answer the phone. I don't particularly care to talk to anyone, quite frankly. I just want to be left alone and find that I no longer care what many people think. This is seriously not like me. Is it possible that it is a reaction to the CV lockdowns? Is it the 5G that cannot possibly be good for people? Is it the fluoride in the water? What is going on? Has anyone else experienced this? Let's go ahead and read some of these comments. There's a rise in narcissism. I've met people who can't stop self-aggrandizing all the time. It's just effing tedious to have to listen to these people. It seems to be normalized these days. It's literally boring, but it also makes me feel like I'm just a cardboard cutout to them. Adjustment disorder. It's like when you move to a foreign country or move back home from living abroad. Some people get it, some don't. Think about all the things that have come to light over the past couple years. It's a lot to take in, and knowing what you know might seem like a totally new environment. The world as you know it doesn't exist anymore, and you can't go back. This is similar if you work in law enforcement or if you're involved in criminal activity. There's this period of time when you had no idea the world around you has multiple layers that you can clearly see now, even though it was always there. Give yourself a break and time to adjust, then force yourself to get out and do something you love doing. This is so accurate. Nothing has felt the same since they pulled that stunt on us. Anyone with half a brain knows it. Yes, I think the government's actions during CV and how they orchestrated pitting people against each other completely destroyed society. There were too many micro groups fighting each other, and now society is a shell of its former self. People lack consideration and empathy now. I do think, like, the mask crowd that wear a mask and no mask, and we should be locked down and we shouldn't be locked down. I mean, there was definitely a lot of division during that time. This guy says, I feel you, absolute social butterfly, crushed by social distancing and how the world treated me during CV. I am a loner now. This guy says, I've reached the I don't give a shit stage and I'm starting to feel like a relaxed old man. This world is so absolutely doomed, and I know there's not much I can do to alter the path we're on, so I don't see any point to let it get me down. All that would do is make me and my family miserable. Build up your own little world, build a family, build a home, take care of your own little world, do whatever it takes to protect it. Just don't let the conspiracy BS depress you to the point that you're neglecting the world around you that actually matters. It's interesting. Sports gambling is wrecking the finances of an already vulnerable population. Gambling is so dumb. I don't do it. Oprah is a S trafficker. that moment when you realize Oprah didn't bring you here for a new car. Israeli secret company reportedly spreads fake news and hacks high-ranking politicians for money in order to manipulate elections worldwide for its clients. What's the deal with OnlyFans? It feels as it has brainwashed many women. There are many women on Reddit in different subs promoting their OnlyFans pages and doing humiliating things for attention. Some even don't do it for money but free. Elon Musk posted a meme picture on his Twitter, and many women started posting their nudes and OnlyFans links on it. It's just such a strange behavior. I don't even feel it was that bad before OnlyFans was created. That's weird. China told to immediately stop new tests on mutant CV strain with 100% fatality rate. Just a reminder that it's the year of the distractions. With it being election year, anytime media pushes a story, question what's being pushed and why. That's all. Yeah. This is interesting. They mentioned the aliens and the Jew tunnels. Yeah, somebody commented on my alien video that they think it's a distraction. So that's interesting. How to ensure your engineered play kills as many people as possible. What if alien conspiracy is a conspiracy itself? Yeah, there we go. Another story like that. Only dirt and tools found in New York tunnel, not mattresses or booster seats. Yeah, this has to do with that dumb tunnel. The entertainment industry is controlled by an ancient satanic cult. InfoWars reporting that hospital employees in Denver are receiving new Ebola vaccine known to shed and infect others 31% of the time. Vaccine linked to outbreaks in 4 other countries. The WHO wants to remove your rights and sovereignty. I'm not sure if it's every country in the world or most, but both Canada and the US are in it. The WHO will be given the power to tell countries what to do. I'm more confident than ever before a cataclysmic event will. They started out innocuously and predictably enough, Bitcoin or Ethereum. Virtual reality or augmented reality. Who will get quantum computing first, China or Google? Eventually they edged into the real topic of concern, New Zealand or Alaska, which region would be less affected by the coming climate crisis. It only got worse from there, which was the greater threat, global warming or biological warfare. How long should one plan to be able to survive with no outside help? Should a shelter have its own air supply? What was the likelihood of groundwater contamination? Finally, the CEO of a brokerage house explained that he had nearly completed building his own underground bunker system. How do I maintain authority over my security force after the event? The event. That was their euphemism for the environmental collapse, social unrest, nuclear explosion, solar storm, unstoppable virus, or malicious computer hack that takes everything down. 1,000 Palestinian children had limbs amputated without anesthesia in less than 3 months due to the collapse of infrastructure in Gaza. The Black Swan. Nassim Taleb posted in his book a concept known as Black Swan. It is an event that is unpredictable and a rare occurrence with extreme impact, often catching people by surprise due to its inherent uncertainty and the limitation of past data and models in predicting them. Now that is literal. If past models fail to predict it, it is a black swan. We know China might attack Taiwan. A multitude of experts have expressed their views on a real war between China and Taiwan happening earlier than later. It has taken a serious footing in the heats of those who craft geopolitical strategies. Newly released video shows the Secret Service Metro Police Department utter lack of concern for the pipe bomb that was supposedly just found at the DNC. What's all with the advent and hustle grinder motivational propaganda and content? Everywhere you look right now, there is this piling crap of hustle and grind propaganda, be it investing in crypto, buying stocks, working more hours, working extra jobs, finding a side hustle, saving every damn last penny. It's like you can't actually look satisfied anymore. Gotta always make yourself suffer more and more. This is the very same society that tells you to be grateful for the very things in life. By the way, also this conflates with society's YOLO nonsense. But what I am guessing is happening right now within society is that there's philosophical warfare as a backlash response to the vapid hedonism of the 2000s and 2010s. Instead of actually promoting simple living, presentfulness, self-actualization, self-fulfillment, existential curiosity, intellectual curiosity, ingenuity, and respecting people for who they are rather than what they are, society keeps on shit-flinging, conflating and confusing attitudes of what's to really make of ourselves. On one hand, you got the vapid hedonists arguing to make things like binge drinking, dating for the sake of dating, hookups, casual sex, partying culture, and entertainment media be only more accepted within mainstream society. On another hand, you got your fair share of Buddhists and financial gurus telling you to just keep grinding until the day you eventually die out. That you must not dare enjoy your life, and that if you aren't building financial wealth, you're an NPC fucktard. On another hand, you have the YOLO crowd trying to make you feel good about yourself. If you aren't having tons of relationships and sex, indulging in binge drinking, going out to parties, going to college, if you aren't spending your money on the latest pair of AirPods, concerts, video games, sporting events, comic cons, etc. But what happened to just letting people simply be? It's a good point. Yeah, I'm guilty of some of that myself, and that I do feel like it's so hard. I think that's part of it, is life has gotten so hard that the hustle and suffer crowd is like trying to tell people how you can get out of that misery. The key is getting out and then finding that simple life, because a simple life is so much happier than staying so busy. Okay, well, I think we've seen enough. That's just a small part of the madness that's out there in the world. So, hope you found that entertaining, and I will see you on the next one. Actually, let me turn around here. Okay, I just wanted to tell you goodbye properly, so if you're still here, please subscribe. If you're new, please give me a thumbs up if you're not new, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.